Yeah! You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are...
Ray.
And Jean-Paul, I don't know how to start today. My God! Sweet Mother of God, are you ready?
Are you ready for some bullshit?
Yeah, it was a big load this week, Jean-Paul. It was a big load. How you doing today?
Oh, good. I mean, it's like Friday night. Am I gonna go out? Am I gonna, go party? Am I gonna do anything? No, I'm gonna sit home and watch SmackDown. Is it gonna be a good show? Absolutely not. I was excited because, okay, we're gonna hear from Bayley. That was legit. Sami Zayn. It's good to see him back. And I was into the heel Roman Reigns, and within the first segment, they completely killed it for me. So the main event to me is already dead on SmackDown, and pretty much everything is the whole show is just garbage. It's awful. I think Monday Night Raw is actually to me better, even though Raw is awful too.
Is a lot better. Yes, because I said it to you. I said it to the Legend Killer Whitman. I said you two are completely oblivious to the truth. You two are blindsided.
I had faith, and then they completely killed it with gimmicks and catchphrases. And speaking of gimmicks, they got it in catchphrases. They steal half of ours, so I don't know. Thanks for watching.
Yes, because the next Monday Night Raw is gonna be in your face.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, they must be watching one from like 20 years ago, but okay,
that's fine. Keep watching. So family, thank you for being with us tonight, and thank you for all the love and support that you give us. Jean-Paul, you and I talk about a little bit about AEW on Wednesday night, and Miroslav Rusev is all elite. So check out
the best man.
Yeah, he's the best man, and he came out, like you said, dressed up as Marshall Mathers, Eminem. Just a little rib.
Yo, Vince, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling.
Yes. So I don't know what's going on, but don't forget to check this video. Good Dynamite, I will say, at least just for this. Like you said, Jean-Paul, nobody even knew.
Yeah, and the one thing, even though we're gonna go over this and a lot more, on Saturday with we're gonna do another episode on the news because there's a lot of news this week actually. But the one thing is AEW had over 1 million. For the
1 million viewers, yeah. 1 million viewers. So Le Champion was taking credit for that. MJF was taking credit for that also. So AEW
and I don't want to make excuses because I'm happy that there's viewers, but I think it's because a lot of people weren't watching NXT, so they're like, oh, okay, I can watch AEW because different nights, and then also people wanted to hear from Matt Hardy. People wanted to. I'm not going to make excuses. I think it was mostly the first one. It was they weren't flipping back and forth.
You have a mind, though, Jean-Paul. You have the toy, so that's fine. You
don't
exactly. Make excuses for anybody. So Jean-Paul, let's start with Paul Heyman and the Big Dog up in the show. So that brings us back to what?
The Big Dog or the Tribal Chief.
The Tribal Chief. Paul Heyman. They pretty much have that is the new way of calling out Roman Reigns. So right there, Jean-Paul, they're coming out. It reminds me of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. So I really don't care for this. And especially WWE knows that when you start the show in this way, for me, I'm completely done. Done.
Well, this is one of those things where they're going to start the show, get used to it. Because I feel like for the next, until he drops the belt, and you and I said, hopefully as soon as he does, he goes to Hollywood and stays there forever. I feel like until he does that, he's going to be the opening segment every show.
I know, but I told you, it brings me back to 2017, 2018, 2019. Oh, here comes the Big Dog. It's the same beverage.
Yeah.
It's I've seen. Am I seeing SmackDown from 3 years ago? From 2 years ago? What the hell? And especially
it's awful.
When the Tribal Chief right there, yeah. No, don't mess with the Tribal Chief. No. He's just talking about he gave him permission of speaking on his behalf to talk about the match of the Clash of Champions because this is gold rush, and also because they're gonna be feuding with family, right, Jean-Paul? He brought up Jey Uso also, and they were talking about how it's the first time that he's gonna have a championship match, and Roman Reigns actually mentioned that he's gonna be a main event. So Drew McIntyre is not even able to get his main event when Roman Reigns is around. Well, how do you feel about that, Mr. Lack?
Well, I mean, this match compared to, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre is complete and utter shit.
Yes.
I don't know how you're going to have that match that has, months and months of like build up and feud. You're going to put that on like what? Second to last match, or you'll probably put like the women's championship match or something in between them. So it'll be the third to last match. So it's like, okay. And for this, a match where it's like, oh yeah, Jey Uso, he's the youngest out of Roman and Jimmy, and he always got beat up when he was younger. And I'm like, who gives a fuck? This feud is so awful. This is one of the worst things. A return. I would have honestly rather seen Roman and Braun Strowman go at it again.
Well, that's what I mean.
I would have rather seen Braun been like, no, you're bullshit, blah, 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 and attack Roman or beat up Paul Heyman, which it was his birthday, I think, today. Happy birthday, you piece of shit. But, it's like, okay, this is awful. This feud is so awful, especially because Jay comes out 100% babyface, like, what's up, Oos? What's up, Oos? I'm like, really? Like Roman, pretty much what Roman was saying, you're bullshit. He's saying like, I'm gonna kick your ass, like just like we were when we were little kids. And he's like, but after I kick your ass, it'll all be love. And he's like, we're not little kids anymore, Oos. I'm like, can you call him Roman? Can you be serious? Can you actually pretend that this is, a championship opportunity, like you said?
The line that like struck me the most is like what he said. Oh, it's the first time that you're actually gonna have like a big paycheck, because you're going to be in the main event. So, like, I was like, really? And see the face, Jean Paul. He's saying, like, oh, you're saying my stuff is utter shit, Jean Paul. What the hell? So, like, they brought up, like, Baron Corbin and also Sheamus. And Sheamus was like, well, I wasn't prepared for Jey Uso. So, you, Roman, or use your shenanigans, with, like, the WWE officials and everything. And that's why you wanted, like, Jey to, like, be part of the Fatal 4-Way. And that's why he got inserted in the match and ended up winning. So this turned out to be just like, hey, let's have a tag team match. So you see the dissension between the two, but like it's not believable for me. Like you said, the language or oos. I really don't give a damn about this thing. I don't really care. And pretty much they set up a tag team match for later on in the night. I'm done.
Yeah, this segment was it was a sinking ship. It was awful and it was going downhill fast. And then when you bring out Corbin and Sheamus, it completely just put the final nail in the coffin, buried it, done. This was awful. And when I texted you tag team match, because I'm watching off the same site that we watched, All Out on. So it was a little bit behind, and I was like, oh, tag team match. And then that's what they do. Yeah. Because as soon as these heels came out, I'm like, but see, at least the outcome was different than what I was predicting. I thought Roman was going to screw Jey Uso and he'd get beat up and get pinned. But, of course, no, we didn't see that. Because that would actually made a little more sense. So the first segment set the whole tone for the show awful.
Absolutely. So Jean Paul, let's go on to the second segment. This was a little better, but still, like, I'm really hoping that this turns out to be a triple threat. Once the triple threat is actually official, then I'm going to be really excited. And we had like Intercontinental Championship match. AJ Styles like challenging Jeff Hardy. This match was more of the same because we've seen him already like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago when Jeff Hardy won the championship. So at least what's going to happen, through the match and later in the match, that's what like really made sense because it was Sami Zayn once again coming out, Jean Paul, and saying that he's the real Intercontinental Champion. See right there is like I am. Sami Zayn, Fidel Castro right there, Jean Paul. He's like, oh, I'm the one. So like there's no need for this match. It shouldn't be a title match because I'm the champion. And then Adam Pearce come out, and he pretty much said, oh, and Sami Zayn is like, whoa, the voice of reason is finally here. And he's like, no. I came to, like, get you out of the building. There you go. Like, don't touch me, Jean Paul. Don't touch me. And that's what, and they ended up having the match. Did you like this?
I like
Sami is good.
I like that. And then when we had the match itself, right when the thing started, it was like, oh, twist of fate, oh, he's going up for the Swanton. I was like, oh my God, like, is AJ done? It's like, no, AJ's not done. He rolled out of the way. And they had a little bit of a match, but it's like, but Sami Zayn came out, obviously then caused the interference and everything. And it's like, the match I didn't care about because what are they going to do? They're going to put the belt on Styles? No. So it's like, why even have this match? To me, I would have rather had seen another guy, but see, there's nobody else who they build up in the mid card.
Yes.
Because Gulak is gone and he was buried against Braun Strowman, and then Daniel Bryan is MIA, I guess. I don't know where the hell he is. So, and Jey Uso's now thrust into the main event. So there's nobody else in the mid card. So, it's just okay, the same old match we saw before.
Yes.
But the thing with Sami Zayn is at least legit, but I feel that they got to cash in. They got to make the triple threat for Clash of Champions. If they don't,
and Sami needs to win it.
Yeah, and exactly. And if they don't, and they drag this out like, oh, let's maybe go for Hell in a Cell or let's go for Survivor. No, then that's way too long. I don't like when feuds are just, okay, let's, get right to the main event. Let's, get right to the blow off. But I think this is one you need to, just because there's no other mid card. What are you going to do? Keep having Jeff and AJ go against each other?
And see, Jean Paul, I really like this because when they're presenting the match, he's like, no, what the hell are you doing? It's not supposed to be a title match. I'm the champion. So I like Sami as a heel. I love him. I think he's like really legit on that. Like you said in the middle of the match, because Jeff was a little bit injured, suffering some effects of some of the moves. But then Sami Zayn ended up attacking AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy. So that was pretty much the end of the match. It turned out to be a DQ. But then Jean Paul, Jeff Hardy kind of was done. He came out and he went down to the floor. Wow,
I guess they were like, oh, he is dehydrated.
That bad, Jean Paul. That's how bad. That's you and me watching this show.
I was just gonna say, he must have been. He saw the rest of the script, for SmackDown. But the dehydrated. I'm like, what is this? This dude already had the angle where he was had alcohol dumped on him and everything was Sheamus. Now he's dehydrated. I'm like, can Jeff literally just come out and just wrestle and just be Jeff Hardy? Does there always have to be something goofy
stupid
going on with him?
Yeah,
it's no, can he just be legit? But
and then look at Sami, Jean Paul.
Fidel.
Yeah, Fidel. Yeah, that's legit. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So that's what happened. That's pretty much what happened with this segment.
So that was one decent segment out of two. Yeah. So we're already halfway gone with anything that was worth watching.
Look at these dumbasses right there.
Yeah.
That's how bad the show is that nobody's happy. Do you see somebody smiling about this show? How bad it is? Look at this. They're supposed to have a title match and they're together and they're just goofing around.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense, Jean Paul. Absolutely no. I just hate it. So then we go, Jean Paul, to see what happened backstage. Because like you said, Jeff Hardy supposedly quote unquote dehydrated, but then AJ Styles showed up and he says that pretty much Jeff Hardy cheated. He's a cheater, and also Sami Zayn is an intrusive. He's being intrusive about the situation. So he pretty much is saying that at some point is gonna be the triple threat. He's actually hinting that they're gonna have to make a triple threat to finally determine who is gonna be the main or the original Intercontinental Champion. So I'm really looking
the original rope break.
The original rope break, that's right. So the undisputed, they like to call it in WWE fashion, Intercontinental Champion. So I'm hoping that this situation leads to that. But then we got to see more of Jeff Hardy fighting against Sami Zayn. So that was I'm I don't know. They're dragging it really bad. Look at this. Done. Did you like this part? Because I'm really? He's dehydrated.
Well, I feel yeah, that's I didn't understand. I just don't get the whole dehydrated thing. It would have been fine if maybe Sami came out and he really beat the shit out of Jeff, blindsided him, and then started beating up AJ, and then okay, Jeff's in the back, he's looking good. The doctor's like, okay, yeah, you're good. He sees Sami and then he jumps him. Because then, okay, then tempers are flaring, everybody's pissed off. Adam Pearce can be like, I've had enough of this. Boom, we're going to do a ladder match, or we're just going to do a triple threat, or whatever. Boom, like you said, undisputed Intercontinental Championship, or champion, and then that's what you should do. But, the whole dehydrated thing, when you put something stupid into it, that's what sticks out, and it just takes me out of the whole thing.
I'm paying attention to this, and I hear dehydrated. What the hell? What is the one thing related to the other thing? There's a triple threat in the works, and then he's dehydrated. I'm like, I was just completely took me out of it. Absolutely, and it made it worse because we want to smoke right now, Jean Paul, and I don't know if I really want to smoke. Maybe
I do after watching this show.
But look at this. Look at this. You got to see a promo by the. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins and the Street Profits going against Cesaro and Nakamura just because they're going to have a match on Monday for they're going to be champion versus champion, and they're going to be challenging for the World Championships, I think it is. So this I didn't like at all. This whole interaction, the Street Profits, I just don't like how all over the top they are. I don't like that. I don't know if you like that, but I just
Yeah, I
their
don't.
gimmicks. I mean, in the ring, they're really good, but like the gimmick outside of like the ring, I'm not a fan of. That's me.
Yeah,
I
and
just do not like that.
I'm going to be honest with you. Besides the takeovers that they were a part of on NXT, I haven't watched those episodes of NXT. Where they have been. Where like on the regular show. So I don't know if they were like this in NXT. But no, I'm not a fan of the way that they're presented on the main roster.
Oh yeah,
I don't like the attitude. I mean, it's like okay to be like we want the smoke and the red solo cups and to go through the crowd, but I feel like that's what they feed off the crowd when they make their way through the crowd and everybody's cheering and dancing and going crazy. But when they're so over the top and so like goofy and like the other wrestlers, especially with these two guys who are trying to be serious, it's
yes.
like trying to mix oil and water. Like it just doesn't work.
It's
And
just
it's
not.
like,
I don't
it
like
just,
how like they're
yeah.
trying to mix them. It doesn't come out good, and like they were pretty much kind of annoying them because they said, "Well, hold on, we have a match. We have a match." And it was with the Lucha House Party. Like Jean Paul likes to say, "You only have one more tag team, so who are you
Mm-hmm.
going to put him with?" The Lucha House Party and Kalisto is back together with like Gara Metalik and also with Lince Dorado. He was saying, "No. We're going to show them this time like who are like the real Lucha guys here." So like, well, get ready, and they are having another match, Jean Paul. I don't know what was the point of this, and pretty much worked out as what, as a way for like Cesaro and Nakamura to get distracted, and that was it.
Yeah,
You know,
because they were like, oh, they were in the champion lounge. And see, that's the one thing I hate too. When they're in that lounge, you have the Street Profits who are acting like goofy idiots, but then they're talking down to, Cesaro and Nakamura, and that the way that they talk down to them and the way that Nakamura and them react, it's like the audience is supposed to agree with the Street Profits because they're like, yeah, we're the Raw tag champs, you're just the SmackDown tag champs,
yeah,
so who cares about you guys? And it's like, oh yeah, who cares about the two actual legit wrestlers? But yeah, during this thing, because they were pretty much beating the shit out of Kalisto, he was done. I don't even think he made the tag to Lince Grand Metalik. And then yeah, the Street Profits, they're with some hoes. I thought Godfather was actually back
right
there. How
there.
many hoes there
Yeah.
was? Yeah, so they're all partying and they're like, and then of course, dumb, heels. They're like, huh? No, they better not be drinking our bubbly and eating our popcorn. And then yeah, would he get rolled up or something?
And then right there, like you said, the faces.
Yeah.
I just don't appreciate this. This was completely dumb, and like you said, you said it the best. They made them look like fucking idiots. Complete
Mm-hmm.
idiots, and I hate that. And there's only to hype this stuff up because on
Well,
Monday
hopefully,
night, bro,
yeah,
yeah,
and hopefully that means that now Cesaro and Nakamura will beat the Street Profits, and then hopefully after the match they they just beat the shit out of them, and then maybe it can be like, oh, we'll finally see that unification because both titles need to be defended, and unless you're gonna do the Lucha House Party versus
versus,
Nakamura and
yeah,
Cesaro. Who are you going to do for the Street Profits? Who are they going
that's
to go
true.
against that Clash of Champions? So hopefully
Absolutely,
it's
Jumbo.
champion versus champion. You unify them because there's literally no division on each roster. If you combine them from both shows, you get half a tag division. If you ask me, but
Absolutely, Jean Paul. And now we're finally gonna go to like the one of the things that it was like really legit because we were looking forward for this because what happened last week, Bayley attacking Sasha Banks, turning heel finally. So we're gonna get an answer right there. There it is. Tonight we're gonna see this. Look at this smile.
there
Jean
she
Paul.
is.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
look at this smile. It's like when she watches Robert. That's
Mm.
right. Yeah, and we feel like Sasha when we watch an episode like this of SmackDown. We just
Yeah.
feel like that. We feel like on like like on a brace, and we just feel like done. We're going to the hospital. We're just gonna get neck brace and all of that. So absolutely done. And we get to see Bayley. Look at the seriousness, Jean Paul.
Mm.
I'm ready to explain myself. I'm ready to just pretty much address everybody. And look at that. She came out with a chair, really legit. Did you like the promo work? I really enjoyed this. She
Yeah, I
was
thought it was
really
good.
good.
Yeah, she sat down, and I love how like there was a story to the whole promo. She sat down. She was all like, "So," she's like, "Everybody's asking, how's Sasha? Is she okay? Blah blah blah. Nobody's asking me how I felt." And of course, they showed, when Sasha, lost to Asuka, and then when Bayley tapped out to Shayna, and they're losing all the titles. They replayed the whole history of
Yes, yes.
events.
They gave
So
you the
then,
whole story. Like, see,
yeah,
like this thing,
exactly.
example. Like, I know you love cake, and so do
Uh-huh.
I. So right there, there you go.
Yeah, so then they showed everything, and it was legit. And Bailey's like, "Hey, nobody asked me how I felt, and if you want to know how I feel, And then that's when the smile cracked, and it's like, okay, because I like how she, was kind of swerving the audience, even though you knew where this was going. And she was like, oh, it felt so good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved it. It's legit. Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe to Rope Break. She was just saying all the things that everybody needs to hear.
Yeah,
And,
if you want to enjoy again, look at this. Yeah, I'm
exactly.
enjoying that.
Subscribe to
And the
Rope
crack
Break.
came out. I'm enjoying the crack. Yes. Anyway,
So, it was, she's good as a pro, but we said this is the main feud. They're setting it up. Bayley's the heel, and Sasha is the baby face when she returns, and hopefully, because we got a fatal 4-way to determine Bayley's contender at Clash of Champions. Hopefully, this is just a throwaway feud, especially with the winner. I'm going to say it's going to be a throwaway match at Clash of Champions because the main story is Sasha Banks when she comes back. Hopefully, after that match, maybe she attacks Bayley, stands tall, grabs that same bent up chair, maybe whacks her with it, and then, like Ryan said, we get the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would really like that. I think that will make the whole deal for me. And that was really cool. I really like how Bayley acted.
Yeah, and I want to ask you this too. Like, I feel like Sasha Banks is the only legit woman on SmackDown that they can have her drop the title.
Yes, yeah. Well,
because Lacey Evans is a good wrestler, but like the gimmick. I mean, not even the gimmick, just like the way she's portrayed on TV, and she's like faced and heel. She's not portrayed legit enough.
Like this was a complete, like you said, all these women have had their chances also, and neither one of them has been able to be successful. First, like you said, Sasha is the money match. Mm-hmm. Right there's the whole feud. You've been dragging this for what, like 5-6 months. They've been carrying the company in the women's division because like Charlotte and Becky are done. So I really think that it has to be Sasha, and they have to do it like you said, maybe Hell in a Cell. That would be really cool. Now the Clash of Champions is way too soon. It's only 2 weeks away. So I just think that like drag it a little bit and just have like this time because they gave us this, Jean-Paul. They gave us this. They gave us a fatal 4-way, and whoever wins from these 4 women, it will be the number 1 contender at Clash of Champions. But before we go to this, Jean-Paul, this promo of Bayley reminds us of what Eddie Guerrero did on 05 when he betrayed Rey Mysterio. When they fused for going to WrestleMania and all of that. Exactly alike. If you people don't believe me, go and check that because he had a chair exactly on SmackDown. So pretty much no creativity here. They just went through the Eddie Guerrero route and then just making it, we love Eddie because everybody's a big fan of Eddie. So they're doing that. But other than that, Jean-Paul, Bayley is going to the back, and Nikki Cross comes out. Nikki Cross comes out because she's ready for the match, for the fatal 4-way, and out of nowhere, Bayley, boom, whags her with a chair, and it's like, and that's how the match started. Which, I was like, okay with it, because, like you said, like we didn't know what women was going to get.
Yeah, and looking back on it now, when you see that, you're like, oh, okay, that pretty much set up who the hell won this damn thing. It's like, okay, like.
Right there, see, like you have the 4 women, like Nikki's already halfway done. But like like you always say, Jean-Paul, like when they whack somebody, like so he starts in disadvantage, turns out to be like that they actually get the advantage and they win. So like this match, Lacey did a good job, like you said. A few spots, little botches here and there. I didn't see a lot of chemistry. But the one thing that it was really interesting is just to see how like the goddess Alexa Bliss is still kind of like showing a little bit more of the Fiend, a little bit of like steps from Bray Wyatt and all of that, because like she actually did like Sister Abigail on Nikki Cross, Jean-Paul. Did you? And you said that spot was legit. And yeah, I really
it could have been a lot better. She called her in his Sister Abigail, held her for what felt like an eternity. Then she did the kiss on the forehead, held her again for what felt like an eternity, and then spun her down. It should have been really quick. Catch, kiss, and then bam, spin her right on the ground. But, maybe they did it for the effect to be like, oh, my God, because, like, you see, it's right in front of the commentary table. Of course, Michael Cole was shitting his pants.
Oh, my God, that's what she did.
But then she didn't even win it. And I'm not saying, do I want to see her win it? But it's like, I don't know, Nikki Cross took the chair shot. Then she gets, pretty much like a DDT almost right into the, floor head first. So. And
still good.
Yeah. And that's the thing I kind of like, with modern wrestling, it's just nothing, nobody sells anything anymore. Why do you know sell me?
And we know a lot about people not selling us, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we know that concept pretty clear, yes.
Exactly. So it's, nothing. These people could get hit by a tank. The only person who sells a tank is Robert Stone.
And that's
You know,
because of
everybody else,
Cassie,
yeah,
but
you
that's
get
it,
hit by a tank and you'd be like, oh, no, I'm legit. But, yeah, I
yeah.
mean, you know, then Nikki Cross had all this offense. She came back in, you know, she did that crossbody
Swinging
to
that
the,
breaker,
yeah,
yeah.
the swinging neck breaker. And, you know,
And
it's
she
like,
ended up
okay.
rolling out. She's not rolling out Tamina. Yeah,
Yeah,
because she was
which
going to
was bad.
do it.
That you know, she went for like a roll up, and Tamina didn't like go the right way, or Nikki was going the wrong way. Someone went left when they should have went
And
right, and then yeah,
yeah, we're gonna get that match at Clash of Champions. Everybody, Jean Paul is like, I'm done. He's like, you do the
yeah. I
review
said
by
I'm done
yourself.
on Nikki Cross because you know we saw that you know back you know how many pay-per-views ago, and it's like okay, and then I think she actually had another rematch on SmackDown for the belt, and
Yeah,
she didn't
and
win
done.
that. So then I know so that's two title opportunities not that long ago. Now she's getting another one. She's clearly not going to win. They might even have Alexa Bliss. We might not even get Sasha Banks. It might be Alexa Bliss who shows up at the pay-per-view, screws over Nikki Cross, and does that feud, and then you have Sasha come back on SmackDown or
That's
something.
what I think
Who
they're gonna
knows?
do. Or like I think that like Alexa Bliss is gonna like keep feuding with Nikki. But like, and Alexa's
Mm,
gonna take like Nikki's spot. That's what I really think is gonna happen. Like I told you, like they're not gonna do the same woman all over again for like what 3 pay-per-views in a row. So I'm
yeah.
really thinking that it's gonna be like you said. They're gonna make Alexa Bliss in the middle of this, and then she's gonna be the one going against Bayley. She might win it. I don't know, but you know we know how they are with Alexa Bliss. So that's not even it's always an
No,
option.
no. I mean, I don't see that happening. I see it's the title's going to Sasha Banks. It's going from Bayley to Sasha. I don't think that they
I
can fuck
hope
that
that they
up.
do that. But you know how WWE they love to put the Isaiah right there in the middle because
Mm-hmm.
see, for example, like this, we already know what woman is this Mr. Woman. We were hoping for Tessa Blanchard. It is not supposed to be that. Jean Paul even mentioned Chelsea Green. There were reports that like they're not even WWE is not even sure who it is because like a close writer told Robrick, they said that like they love to swear people. They love to just mess with even their own writers. So you're only McMahon and like maybe they like two like Bruce Pritchard. They know who really is. But like Jean Paul, seeing this, who do you think it is? Because even they show like you said the blonde hair.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you know, like you know how tan she is, and just you know the really slender body type. It wasn't like you know Tessa is skinny, but obviously not the blonde hair, and she's you know muscular too. So
Yes.
Tessa done, that's out the window. I don't think it's her. I don't think it's Chelsea Green because she doesn't have the blonde hair. Unless they're doing a wig, which they're not going to do a wig. So I'm going to say it's probably got to be Carmella. I can't
It's
imagine it's
Carmella.
anybody
Yeah.
else. You know, I saw some people comment, and again, these are the brain dead wrestling fans who are like, "Oh, it's Kelly." I'm like, really?
Really?
I got like a really like you said, is
Yeah.
this Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio back then? Then yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I would have believed it was
Somebody
Kelly
said like
Kelly.
somebody had like a. I'll find it for next time, family. But like they have a meme that like when Dominic was like really little and he had like the blonde hair, like the like the.
Yeah,
And it's like
and then
oh
it's
like
Rusev.
yeah yeah. It's like oh finally Dominic became a man and he's like Rusev. I'm like yep that's legit. At least they make it fun. But like you said, some
Mm-hmm.
marks make the situation unbearable for professional wrestling. And like you said, is because these shows are not taking the wrestlers or not are presenting the wrestlers in a serious manner. So like a lot of old school people, they like to just see in wrestling in that manner, and they don't see it because see, for example, we're gonna go to something that is also like doesn't make any sense, right? Heavy machinery, Jean Paul. Otis going against John Morrison because we're fighting over a lunchbox where it's supposed to be like a contract hidden. So this also, Jean Paul, didn't make any sense to me. Or like you're a big fan of Jim Morrison, so am I, and he's still like being jobbed out
Remember,
for no reason.
remember, remember when we said a couple minutes ago how you know Cesaro and Nakamura were going against the Lucha House Party again because that's the only tag team on SmackDown.
Yeah,
Look how there's two tag teams right here
yeah,
that are feuding over the Money in the Bank, which John Morrison even said, "Dude, we can't steal it and cash it in ourselves." And then of course the Miz is like, "No, no, no, we can because my lawyer has loopholes and this and that." This is so stupid and nobody cares. Nobody's behind this. This is know what this is? This is we have nothing to do with Otis because there's no we gave it to him as a haha. This is funny because he's fat. You know, that's all this was. Haha, look at him.
and
He's
because
not
he was with Mandy, so make
yeah,
it a little bit.
yes, exactly. So it's like haha. He's not going to cash. What's he going to do? Cash in on this is honestly what I hope happens. If they're not going to do it for the tag belts, which I don't think they will, have him cash in at Clash of Champions and lose. Just
Yeah.
just have it be gone. I'm so sick of it seeing it on the show, and then John Morrison and The Miz can hopefully feud or go back in the tag division, because you got to do something legit with Morrison. He got completely dominated by Otis here, which, nothing against Otis. I like Otis, but John Morrison's a hell of a wrestler, okay? This isn't Tahuti Miles. This isn't one of those jobbers from NXT or one of those bullshit guys. No. This is John Morrison. He's legit. He should be treated better than this.
No. And like, look at this. And now The Miz is the one still in the launch box. Yeah. And of course, and then, Otis pretty much dominated. He said Morrison, another splash. 1, 2, 3. And then Tucker is like, oh my God, they stole the thing. And Otis is actually, Taki, relax. It's all good. Taki, calm down. Like, don't worry.
He Otis no sells it. He's like, Taki, come on, bro.
Otis is like, he's legit. I got it. And it turns out to be that, like, he had, like, the contract in another launch box. So, imagine, they even keep prolonging this crap. I don't understand why, Jean-Paul.
I said, because they don't know what to do. What would you do if you were the booker right now with Otis? Would you have him cash in on Roman? Because he's not going to win.
Yeah, no, that will be, if I'm the booker, like you said, because at least, I pulled the whole swerve. But Roman is Roman. But, like, if there will be in an ideal world where actually Roman is just a human being, I will make him cash in and I will make Otis the champion. But everybody will laugh at me because it's like the most stupid idea in the world.
But also, this is a thing too. Like, okay, yeah, you get the feel good moment with Otis, but imagine it's like that's what your thing. Oh, here's Drew McIntyre, here's Asuka, here's Bayley or Sasha, and then Otis. People will look at that and laugh. They'll be like, really?
Yeah,
that's why you should have never gave him the briefcase. Them as the tag champs is legit.
Now, to me,
when you look at them, Tucker looks way more like he should be a world champion than Otis.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, and now Mandy's not even on the show anymore either, because of course maybe she's also like having a little bit time off after SummerSlam. But like Otis without Mandy's like we needed that because they make it good, and now they need to like turn it. It's like a relationship, right?
Like, Otis without Mandy is like the French dip without the dip.
Yeah, it's pretty much the cheese and the beef. Yeah,
you're like, okay, like I don't want it unless I get the dip.
Exactly. So Jean-Paul, let's go to like what's gonna happen on Monday Night Raw. This is like Jean-Paul is pissed about this. Look at this. In your face! Drew McIntyre against Kid Lee. I don't really understand the
spoiler alert. RKO and done on one of these guys. DQ. No one wins.
And give me another spoiler alert for more in your face. Now it's a steel cage match. Can I? Can you give me something else?
This is to pop ratings, and because they're so pissed and so upset that AEW broke 1 million, they're like, oh my God, this is bullshit, because they're, not total viewership, but certain demographics, which I don't know why all of a sudden people care about the demographics and all this stuff. Just because AEW started. But, I guess in certain demographics, they're getting close to Raw, and Raw doesn't like that. But, what are you building for? I understand the Keith Lee, Drew Mac. Well, no, I don't, because they're supposed to be friends. So I don't understand that. And the Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, are Dominic. What's that for?
Yeah.
Because he beat up Buddy Murphy. Well, Seth Rollins told Buddy Murphy to fuck off. He said, I don't want you anymore. And then they beat the shit out of him, which I think WWE said 67 kendo strikes. Buddy Murphy is done. You know what I mean?
It's legit. Yeah, it's done. So like,
unless he turns face and breaks up, to me that would be the only way out. As if he helps Dominic win the match or cost Seth Rollins the match, which wouldn't make sense because they just beat him 67 times. But he could be like, Rollins, you're bullshit because you didn't help me. So
let's invite everybody to be with us. After on Tuesday morning, Monday Night Raw review. Jean-Paul and myself will be right there talking about it's going to be a lot of championship matches. Going to be the champions against champions. And also Mickey James is going to be going against Asuka for the women's championship. And now Jean-Paul, really glad that you're our friend. So he promised to introduce a newest creation. It turns out to be a parrot, but the parrot never showed up. What was the name, Jean-Paul?
Oh, I don't even ask me. I forget
the name was Paulette or something like that.
Some kind of bullshit.
Yeah, and in the end, dead because he didn't make any holes on the box. Yeah, so he died. He didn't.
I mean, that was like kind of funny. And then I'm like, okay, the doorbell's gonna ring. Alexa Bliss is going to walk in, and that's going to be the new guest, and it's okay. Then we're going to be good. But no, who came in?
Yeah,
Vince McMahon.
Vince Kennedy McMahon. Yeah.
Now, the only thing that I liked from this entire segment was when he said, "What in my home is going on in here?" What the hell is going on in here?
Yeah,
so pretty much he's saying he lives in hell, which I mean I agree. Vince is the devil.
Yeah, well,
that's why he'll never die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like and like he's like, oh, it seems that you cannot hold like do this whole thing by yourself, so you need like another person. And I thought it was a be Alexa Bliss, so I'm like, I'm getting legit. And then we get to see Wobbly or Woolby the Walrus, right there.
Yeah,
and this happens to be Paul Heyman. Yeah, it's Paul Heyman. That's all it is. It's just like a recreational Paul Heyman because even he says my name is Woolby the Walrus. So like, and then of course we get to hear again, right, Jean Paul? This is such good shit. Really? Like I hated this.
Yeah, this was so bad. I mean, this was awful. But of course, the only thing it's like satire in the sense where Vince goes, "This is such good shit," but he probably actually thinks that. Excuse me. He probably actually I almost was throwing up from how awful this was. But no, he probably actually thinks that this is actually good shit. So he's probably like, "Oh, okay," So it's like a satire. But also Bray Wyatt, I gotta applaud him. The way he's like, oh no, and he's like, yowie, wowie, like the way he sells it and reacts to it. I feel like if you would be, Cesaro do this or Roman or somebody else, even Jeff Hardy, so they couldn't sell it like him.
Oh no, Bray Wyatt does a good job.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So that is one thing. It makes these segments a little bit more bearable. And hopefully this is just, hey, we don't really know what to do with the Fiend, but we want to keep him on television so he stays relevant. So eventually, because what I would love to see, which I don't know how much people would actually like this, is, you're not going to have him beat Roman. You're not going to do that. Pull the swerve, bring back Brock Lesnar at some point, and then have the Fiend beat Lesnar.
That would be cool.
I think that would be legit, because then that would be a
that's not going to happen unless there's crowds and they just fire 60 people that they were part of the live events or pretty much the people.
And we will go over all the big names tomorrow, so we're not going to reveal any here. So stay tuned.
Let's stay tuned tomorrow because we're going to go live and pull myself on Facebook also. So we're going to be talking about all of the situations. But like you said, hopefully they will do something better with the Fiend, because this is, to me, it was a terrible segment.
This was really a total letdown.
It was a total letdown, like you said, and it gets even better, Jean Paul, because now we're gonna go to the tag match. It's gonna be the Usos, Jey Uso with Roman going against Sheamus.
Can I say one good thing about this though?
What?
That at least it was the main event, so I knew this was the last segment of the show.
And yes, and also it was gonna be 3 minutes or something like that, and it didn't turn out to be like that. Right there, whatever. Yeah, pretty much, and Jay dominated pretty much the whole match, or he was fighting by himself.
What an awful situation Sheamus has found himself in.
Oh,
he came back legit. Shorty G beat the shit out of him. Okay, even the feud with Jeff Hardy wasn't bad. Jeff Hardy went over, but at least it was a decent-ish feud. It wasn't the best thing, but it wasn't the worst. And then we saw whatever, doing stuff with Big E. I kind of actually liked that. And then now this. And
then Jobber.
Yeah, him and Corbin. They should have been beating the shit out of Jey Uso. It should have been Jey Uso had zero offense in. But instead, Jey Uso looked good. So the way I would have did it is Jey Uso pretty much zero offense. Maybe he starts out hot, gets a move or two, then they slow him down and just beat him up. Really just get the heat on him. Then Roman comes out, and you think, oh, Roman, okay, he's going to help his cousin, Oos, the bloodline, whatever bullshit you want to call him, the tribal chief, in your face, whatever else you want to steal from Rope Break. And then, but instead of spearing one of the heels, he should have speared Jey Uso and walked away.
Yeah. No,
he should have speared him, and then the heels pin him, and then he just, gives him the finger, oh, I'm the big dog, whatever, raises his fist, ooh-ah, and then done. But no, we saw him, he speared Sheamus, 1, 2, 3, instead of Corbin, maybe because we saw Romans, beat Corbin 1,000 times, they're let's show a different visual.
Yeah, throughout 2020 and 2019, yeah, we've seen that so many times. You said Sheamus pretty much dropped out.
This was bad. This was just bad.
He can't remember. I'm gonna make sure the SmackDown is relevant, is legit again. All these guys that being on SmackDown made this show weak or made for pretty much for pussies. No, now look at this. Yeah, done. And on top of that, Roman showed up mid-match. He didn't even show up like to be right
Well,
next.
yeah, and that's why I was really hoping they would have did it my way, because I mean, I just thought it would have made more sense. You know, he doesn't come out. He's doing this thing where he doesn't show up to the matches on time because he didn't do that to his Universal Championship match.
Yeah.
He came out when he sees fit. So that, but then he stays like face almost because he helps his cousin. So I'm like, to me, like if you really wanted to make this feel legit, and then have Jay Uso cut a really fiery, hot promo next week, he should have turned on him. Here helping him. Now he's going to be like, oh, yeah, we had a legit match last week, Uso.
It's because they keep prolonging it, but still, I don't understand why. There's no reason if this is going to last like 1 month pay-per-view. You just got to do all the
shots. Yeah, not even. Like they said, it's 2 weeks from Sunday. Do you think this feud is going to go on after 2 weeks? No, they're just going to have Roman chew up the entire SmackDown roster.
Yeah, and this is supposedly going to be the main event, so there you go. And like you see, there's a little bit of dissension right there. See how Jey Uso is like, because he's trying to hold the Universal Championship. That's as close as he's going to ever get to the Universal Championship. Yep. And then we get to see this jump home. So it's like, who's gonna clean this licer? So
yeah, I mean, I'm not invested. Is Jey Uso good wrestler? Oh yeah, he's a hell of a wrestler. But this feud makes no sense. It's awful. I would have rather just seen Roman just not have a match. I know it's Clash of Champions, so everybody has to have a match. But I don't know. Like I said, I almost would rather see him and Braun Strowman do it again, because at least that match.
Like either Braun Strowman or even even the Fiend, and then you screw it somehow. You know what I mean? You screw it like you make a DQ somehow, like another person shows up, something different, but not Jey Uso. Like, I mean, to me, I just go with you. Jey Uso is a great wrestler. Is he like part of the main event scene? No. Because have we seen him ever since WrestleMania? No. He's just there because Roman and Paul Heyman probably, both of them are in charge.
He was in that one that when they had that like battle royal or whatever the hell that was for the Intercontinental Championship. But
what happened with him?
He was in that, and then that's where and I'm not saying he can never be main event, but like that would have been a good spot for him to get over as a singles guy. Oh, let me go against AJ Styles, or let me go against Sami Zayn or Jeff Hardy or whoever. Even why can't we see him in a singles match against Shorty G, and it's a clean match? Oh, okay, the winner, they're moving up in the Intercontinental Championship hunt. No, everything has to be, because they don't book it like wrestling; they book it like a soap opera.
Yeah. He's like, one thing good he does, okay, he gets a Universal Championship match.
Yep.
So that's pretty much the last thing that we saw. You see like the dissension a little bit, but you see more from Roman than from Jay. So this is pretty much the show, family. So we want to thank you for this bearing with us. See, we tried to make it as funny as we could, because this show was not good at all, but Road Break is always as good as it can get. We're always hot on fire, ready to go. So the invitation, we have two big things. We're going to be interviewing Felipe Jr., one of the Bad Bunnies, one of the pretty much the new generation of Lucha Libre stars. We're going to be talking to him, his experiences in wrestling. It's going to be really great. And Jean Paul and I are going to be talking about news. We have a lot of things, like you said, that Jean Paul mentioned. 60 people were cut off from WWE. This couple of days, Gerald Briscoe, all-time producer right there. Bray Wyatt's IRS. Bray Wyatt's dad, also done. So we have a lot of Jim Ross under fire because of all the wardrobe malfunctions. AEW, like Jean Paul mentioned, broke at 1 million. So we have a lot of things to talk about. Jean Paul and myself are going to be talking about all of this. So Jean Paul, remind everybody where they can find us on social media, please.
You can find us on Facebook under Rope Break, Twitter, the OG Rope Break, and on Instagram, the original Rope Break, right here on YouTube for the best podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the original Rope Break.
That's right. And Jean Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...